Hey guys, welcome. We have a back and biceps workout today, so you are going to need a different variety of dumbbells, and I think that's all. Oh, you will need, if you want, a bench chair, something. We are going to do single arm bent over rows, so if you want to grab something to use to stabilize there, you can do that. But other than that, that is all we need for our workout today. We have 3 circuits, 2 back bicep strength workout or exercises, and then a core in there as well. Okay, so we're gonna get started in our warm-up, and we're gonna start with those hinge reaches. So we're in that hinge and we're reaching forward 45 and then out to the side, keeping that core engaged here, starting to warm up those shoulders, all upper body today. So there is our focus in our warm-up. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Awesome. Front, side, or 45, and then out to the side. One more time here. Perfect. We're going to stand up and we're going to just go into some arm swings. So swinging those arms up again, opening up that chest, warming up those shoulders. And then we're going to go and warm up our elbow joints a little bit. So we're going to lock in those elbows at our sides, and we're going to do circles here in nice big circles, and then out the other way. And we're going to come to the edge of our mats, hit those walkouts next. Big inhale, reach up overhead, over to that forward fold. We're going to walk it out. We're going to hold that plank for 3, 2, 1. We're going to go down into cat-cows here. So on that inhale, we're digging into that lower back. On that exhale, round and sending that bra strap area of your back to the ceiling. One more, and then we'll go into those T-spine rotations. So right hand behind that right ear, into that twist. We're going to be doing some, with our core, twisting that spine, using that transverse plane. So we definitely want to get that warmed up today. Good job, we're almost there. One more on this side. And then we are going into a plank row. So you can go into a knee plank or up on your toes, and we're gonna pull those arms in like we're going into a row here. So pulling that arm to hip, keeping that core nice and strong. Awesome way to really warm up those shoulders, chest, core, back. We'll go one more on each side. We're gonna come down to a seated position. We're just gonna take it and do some wrist stretching here. So fingers towards us. And you can just kind of rock back and forth here. And then move those fingers facing out, rocking back and forth. And then finally we'll face those fingers forward. And then taking those wrists, we're rolling them out, and we'll just finish off here with some jogging on the spot. So we can bring those heels up to our glutes, into some of those butt kicks. You can march on the spot, you can go into high knees. Just something to get that heart rate up a little bit, get that blood flowing before we get into our workout. Our prime exercise today, we're gonna go into pullovers. So we're going to be laying on our back, weight over here, and we're dropping back, pulling over. And we'll finish up here in 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay, so first move. Remember, this is 1 minute. We're gonna come down onto our backs. We're gonna grab that fairly heavy weight. Making sure we're tracking on those sheets that this is our prime movement. Pullovers, writing down what weight we're using and how many reps we are getting in, okay? So grab that weight. I'm just getting my timer to try to work here. We're here for 1 minute, okay? All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're slowly lowering over the head, pulling up and over. Inhale as we lower, exhale, engage that core. Use those lats to help pull that weight up and over. Make sure you're counting those reps. We're here for 1 minute. We are halfway there. We're at the 30-second mark, 30 seconds left. Check in how this weight is feeling. Maybe writing down a note beside your tracker, whether you think you could go heavier or lighter next time. Slow and controlled as we lower back down. And really think about engaging that deep core on that exhale as we pull that weight overhead. 1 more. And rest. Awesome. All right. We are going to get into that workout. Okay, first exercise. Like I said, we're going to have 2 strength moves, back and bicep, and then we're going to go into a core. So our first move, we are going to go into a bent over single arm row. I'm going to use my chair. So we're here. We're squeezing those lemons in that armpit, and we're rowing. Okay, that is our first move. Second move, we are going to go into a single, double hammer curl. So we're going single, and then double. And then our core move is going to be a rotating knee drive. So we've got our weight here. We're driving that knee and twisting, okay, into that rotation. That is our first circuit. We're gonna do our strength moves through 3 times, all right? So get your weight ready for that bent over row. If you're using some type of chair, bench in the gym, whatever it is, go ahead and grab that. And here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Keeping a nice neutral spine here. We want to make sure we're not rounding our back at all. Our core is engaged. Thinking about squeezing that lemon in that armpit, and slow and controlled down. We're not just dropping that weight. We're staying in control, slowly lowering back down. Checking in right now. We're in a couple reps in. How is this weight feeling? Can I go a little bit heavier here? We're gonna just do this side. We're gonna move to our curls next, and then our second time through, we'll hit the other side. If you're using those tracking sheets, we're writing down bent over row, and we're writing down what weight we're using right now. And rest. We've got a 15-second rest, and then we're going into those hammer curls. So remember, our hammer curls, our palms are facing in, not out. We've got our feet about hip width apart, gentle bend in those knees. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. So using that bicep, we squeeze, exhale, and then 2 together. Watch that we're not using that momentum to get that weight up. If we're having to do that, that is our sign we need to go a little bit lighter. So we're going single, double. Awesome job. If you are using that heavy weight, you're gonna find maybe those last couple of reps, you're kind of losing that form a little bit. You might have to use a little bit of momentum to get that up. If that's happening in the last couple of reps, that's okay. That means you're going heavy enough, but if it's from the beginning, halfway through, maybe go a little bit lighter and rest. All right, we're going on to the other side in those rows next. So switching that side, bent over row. Oh, this watch is on the fritz today. Here we go, in 3, 2, do you know why? Because it's Saturday. And my watch is saying, why are you working out on Saturday? Here we go, 3, 2, 1. Because watch, that's when I can get it done. Inhale as we lower, exhale as we pull up into that row. Working those back muscles here. Inhale, lower, exhale. Think about that core. We're still making sure we keep that core nice and strong. Keeping those shoulders square to the ground. Squeezing that lemon. Awesome job, guys. We're almost there on this side. We're gonna hit those curls again. Keep going, almost there. And rest, good job. Okay, single hammer curls one more time. We're gonna do our core move, and then we're gonna go through this for our final time. Okay, let's get those weights ready for the hammer curls. I think I fixed the watch. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. So we're going single, single, double. Slow and controlled. This doesn't have to be a fast movement. We are not counting our reps. We are just making sure that form and technique is proper on each rep. That is what's important here, not how many reps we get. Thinking about engaging that core, any little extra core work we can get, we always want to add that in. So when we're exhaling, engaging that core, we're working on strengthening that core while we're strengthening our biceps. Awesome job, guys. Almost into that core move. And rest, good job. Okay, let's set those weights aside. If you have the bench chair, whatever, we want to get that out of our way. And we're gonna go into those knee drives. With that rotation, you don't have to add a weight here, but you can. We're coming up into that knee drive, twisting to that outside leg, okay? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Let's start with that right leg back, okay? Drive up to that knee drive, into that twist. Working that transverse plane here. So we try in most of our workouts, at least within the week, to make sure we hit all 3 planes. So we're moving front and back, side to side, and then some type of rotational movement. This is gonna mimic functional movement, right? Because in real life, we're twisting, we're going back and forth, we're going side to side. So we wanna make sure we're strengthening all those planes. We're really working on our core here. We're working on those hip stabilizers. Inhale down, exhale, squeeze that core. If you're struggling with that balance, squeeze glutes and core, and rest. All right, last time through, we're gonna go into just a double bent over row here. So grabbing 2 weights, same thing. We're going into that bent over row with 2, all right? Here we go, in 3, 2, and 1. Into that row, and slowly lower back down. If your weights are a little too heavy and you wanna go into alternating, go ahead and do that, but if not, both weights into that row, slowly lower back down, watching that we're not rounding that back, arching too deep into that lower back, neutral spine. We've got that 2x4 right from our neck, right down to our tailbone. Just about there, guys. And rest. Set those weights down. We're gonna take 15 seconds. We're gonna finish off with those hammer curls, and then we're gonna take a little rest before we get into our second circuit. Nice deep breaths into those curls. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. We're doing single, single, double still. Once we finish this off, if you're tracking, take that second, write down which weight you used. Even if you got through, we want to forget about that all or nothing thinking. So even if you can do that first set, like we went through with, say, the heavier weights, and then you drop down to those lighter weights for set 2 and 3, that is still progress. So making sure we're writing that down in our notes. That first 45 seconds, we use those 15, 20s, 10s, whatever is the heavier weight we're using, and then we drop down for set 2 and 3. That is still progress. And then we just continue. Next time we try to hit that second set with that heavier weight. And done. Awesome. Okay, first circuit is done. Take that rest, grab a drink, write down your weights. Next exercise is, next circuit, we're gonna go into a concentration curl. So you can go into a kneeling position, even a seated position, elbow resting on that on the inside of that knee, and you're going into a single arm curl here. If this is not a comfortable position for you, come to a standing position, keep that elbow locked in, and go into those concentration curls in that standing position. But we are working on single arm. Second move, we are doing reverse grip row. So we are bent over, palms facing forward, and we are pulling 2 weights. We're gonna do 2 weights for that, okay? All right, those are our first, 2 moves. Then we are gonna go into that crunch knee drive on the other side, okay? So last few seconds of our rest. We've got about 10 seconds left. Make sure we've got a drink. Make sure you've got the proper weights, and we will get started. So again, for this one, you can be down in that kneeling position, elbow on the inside of that knee, or we can come to that standing position. Here we go. 3, right arm, 2, and 1. So here's the standing over in front of our body into that rotation. Switching up our grips, switching up from our regular to our hammer to a concentration curl to hit different areas of that bicep. We have a long and short head bicep muscle, so we want to make sure we're always hitting both. One muscle helps your bicep look wider, one helps the bicep have more of a peak, so we always want to make sure we're hitting that, not having those muscle imbalances. Almost there. One more. Exhale on that curl. Rest, and then we're going into those reverse grip rows. So we're going to palm forward and we're pulling up, okay? You might have to go a little bit lighter with these than you did your regular row. See how they feel. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. And the same thing with this. We're hitting different back muscles when we switch up our grips. Upper, lower, mid, those lats. Hitting different areas, hitting those delts a little bit more with certain rows, certain grips. So we always want to kind of switch it up. We don't have to get fancy. Keeping these basic moves in all of our workouts, that's how we get better at them, and we can really target those muscles. Inhale down, exhale on that row. And again, if this is feeling too much, we can go into alternating sides. And rest. Perfect. Next, we're going into that concentration curl on the other side. Kneeling, standing, whatever your preference is. Just make sure you do the same on both sides. Okay, here we go. 3 seconds. Left arm, 2, 1, into that curl. We're here for 45 seconds. We get our break. We'll hit those rows again and then into that core move. Awesome job, guys. Using that mind to muscle connection, thinking about that bicep on that curl. That's the muscle we're using. Checking with that form. We're not locking out our knees. We're not standing like this. We're untucking that tailbone. Those ribs are stacked over our hips. One more. And rest. Awesome. Okay, into those reverse grip rows again. 45 seconds, and then we're into that core. Here we go in 3, 2, and 1. Into those rows. Choosing that weight that feels challenging for you. That heart rate should be up. We should be struggling on those last couple rows, and if we are not, up that weight or slow that tempo. Even if we can get our first few reps in with that heavier weight, and then we set that down, we move to that lighter weight when we need to. That is still progression. That is still progressive overload. We're adding that resistance. Just about there, guys. And rest. Okay, into that core work next. So other leg forward. Hopefully you remember which one you did. I think we had our right foot back, if I remember correctly. Yes, so we're putting left foot back. Weight or no weight, totally up to you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We're driving that knee and into that twist. Squeezing those glutes and that core to help with that balance. A little bit of cardio here. You can kind of step up that tempo, go a little quicker. You can sink down lower into that low line or in that reverse lunge. Make it a little bit more challenging. Grab a heavier weight. Make sure we're breathing though, okay? Inhale down, exhale, twist. Almost there. Knee all the way up. And rest. Okay, final set here. For the concentration curl, we're gonna stand and we're gonna do alternating arms, okay? The rows will be the same. This one will just switch up. Here we go, locking in those elbows in 3, 2, 1. Awesome job, guys. Almost done. Circuit 2. We've got 1 circuit left. Our burnout move, and we are out of here. Making sure you're grabbing those quick drinks both between our work, on those rests, stay hydrated. And take those few seconds to write down those weights if you have those tracking sheets. If that's something you're doing for this, really help hold you accountable, move those weights up and see that progression. Almost there. And rest. We were there. I missed the beep. I'm sorry, guys. Missed the beep for us there. Okay, we're done though, okay? So next circuit, take a little break, grab a drink. You earned it. You did like an extra 5 seconds there. So first move, we're gonna do single bicep curls. So we've done hammer. We're now flipping that grip out front. So we're doing single, double. Single, double, there we go. And then we are going to go into a single arm hammer fly. So what that's gonna look like, single weight, we're gonna go hammer, hammer, hinge, and fly. Couldn't think of that hinge word there. Hammer, hammer, hinge, and fly. We are gonna go single side, the third side, we are gonna go double, okay? So get ready, we're gonna start with those bicep curls, grab those heavy weights, challenge yourself on that first set for sure. If you have to go down after, that's all right, but let's see if we can surprise ourselves with that heavier weight, okay? All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Single, double. Checking in with that form every couple reps. We've got those feet about hip, shoulder width apart, gentle bend in those knees. Untuck that tailbone. We are exhaling and engaging that core on that curl, inhaling as we lower. Try also, especially if you're going with those heavier weights, sometimes we have the tendency to lift those shoulders, tense those traps, relax those shoulders. Let your bicep do the work, not our trap muscles. They are tense enough. We don't need to add to it, okay? Let's go one more. And rest. Awesome. We are going next into that single arm with a fly. That fly you might need to go a little bit lighter, see how it feels. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna go hammer, hammer, hinge, and fly. Awesome. 2 hammers and out to that fly. Using these unilateral movements I talk about a lot, working on those muscle imbalances and working that core a little bit harder when we've got that weight just on that one side. We can't overcompensate with that stronger side, and it's firing up more core muscles to help with that balance and stability. Almost there, guys. 5 seconds left. And rest. Okay, we're gonna hit those single, double bicep curls again. We're gonna go to the other side, and then we're gonna go into our core movement, which is going to be a squat with a toe touch, okay? So here we go. 3, 2, and 1. These always feel funny after doing a single side movement. Your right arm is like, what the hell? And your left arm is like, yeah, I had a nice break. So you're feeling probably a little bit lopsided right now. That's all right. We're gonna even it out after this one. Again, using those biceps, not our traps, not momentum, getting those weights up. If we're at a point that we're doing that, let's think about going a little bit lighter to finish off that set, which I'm almost at. We can do it. I'm gonna get through it though. Use that breath to help you. Pause if you need to. And rest. Okay, here we go. Into that fly hammer on the other side. Making sure you use the same weight on both sides, okay? Even if it felt too light the first time that you did it, all the way through, we're gonna stay with that weight. Here we go, 3, 2, 1. We don't need one bicep looking bigger than the other. Hinge, out to that fly. Stand up, back to those 2 curls. And drive back up. We're going into our core move next, so we're just going into a squat with a front kick, toe touch. If you can't do the toe touch, we're just gonna go into like a knee drive, which I will show you. One more here, and rest. Okay, so our core move, we're throwing in here. We're gonna go squat, toe touch, squat, toe touch. If that's too much, we're gonna go squat, just a knee tap, squat, knee tap, okay? Here we go, in 3, 2, and 1. We're going into that squat, reaching for that opposite toe. So left hand to right toe and back and forth. We're alternating sides. If this is too much, we're going into that knee. You can even just work on your squats here if you need to, okay? Squats are actually a great core move. We are definitely working on strengthening those core muscles in that squat, especially if you're working on that breath and core engagement properly. Almost there, guys. Six seconds left, keep going. Rest, okay? We are going to finish off strong. Back to those bicep curls, single, single, double. I'm debating going down a weight, but I'm gonna try it. We're gonna try and stick through it for this third set. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Single, single, and double. If you need to modify, take that double out and just work on those alternating curls. If you're like me and you're kind of on that borderline, maybe a little bit too heavy, go ahead, try that modification. Just try not to give up. Don't quit early. Just find something to keep those biceps moving. Whether you're going down to that lower weight or just working on those alternating ones. All right, we've got this. Making sure we use that breath and rest to help us through those reps. Okay, we are going to go both sides now. So we're gonna just do a double hammer with your fly, or we'll do alternating flies. 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna do a double curl. We're gonna hinge, do alternating right, left, and stand. 2 curls. We are almost done, guys. This is our last move before that burnout. And then we are out of here. Do not forget that cool down. Forgot what I was doing. Can't multitask today. In that cool down, we're thinking about those back muscles, giving some nice love to them, doing some nice stretches, taking that time to hydrate, stretch afterwards. One more, guys. We'll finish up here. One on each side and rest. Okay. Weights aside, you are gonna actually need one weight for our final move here. We're gonna do lateral squats with a hand switch. So we're here and here, and we're back and forth. Nice heavy weight. Get that heart rate up, keep that core strong, protect that lower back. We're here for a minute and then we're done, all right? So grab a quick drink, 1 minute. I think it's better, always better than the burpees. So you're like, if I could get through 1 minute of those burpees, I can do anything, okay? These are gonna be easy peasy. All right, here we go. 1 minute, starting in 5 seconds. In 3, 2, and 1. So we're switching that hand, sinking down to those side squats. This should be challenging. You should have a nice heavy weight here. We want to go quickly through these. We are working on how many reps we can get in. We're gonna get that heart rate up. We're working that full body here. We're feeling those glutes, that upper body, that core, and that heart rate is getting up, up, up. Focusing on that cardiovascular health here, working those heart and lungs. Quick, quick, quick. This is that move, that final minute, we should not be able to talk through. If you're able to talk through it, let's think about going faster. Let's think about getting that heavier weight. We're almost there, guys. We've got 15 seconds left. Keep going. And then you can be done with me. You can say all those terrible things about me. You can shut that video off and you can then go enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Last few seconds. Keep pushing, don't quit. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome job, guys. Okay, again, stretching, hydrating. Good job getting to your mat.